And now, marine weather around Alaska.
Look for light northeast winds at 10 knots to the north coast up here for Friday. East at about 20 knots with some higher gusts on the central coast. Small craft advisories on the south coast. In closer to that front for winds 25 knots out of the southeast. Same thing for Clarence Strait. And light variable winds over the central and northern panhandle. And then for Saturday, light north winds at 10 for Lynn Canal, southeast 15 Stevens Passage, and southeast at 30 for Clarence Strait, and east-southeast 30 knots for the south coast, with those seas up around 12 feet, falling back to about 20 knots out of the east for the central coast, and east-northeast at 10 up to the north. Prince William Sound, light variable winds for the day Friday at 10 knots, and variable 10 to 15 knot winds for the eastern North Gulf Coast. Northeast at 20 here, down across the Barren Islands, northwest at 15 for the Kamishak Bay area, variable winds at 10 knots for Cook Inlet. For Saturday, south to southwest breeze at 10 to 15 knots for Cook Inlet with 3-foot seas, south at 15, Kamishak Bay and the Barren Islands with 4 to 5 foot seas there, and variable winds at 10 knots for Prince William Sound and the North Gulf Coast. For Kodiak Island, northeast wind 25 knots for the day Friday, and north to northwest at 10 to 20 knots for the Alaska Peninsula, northwest at 10 for Bristol Bay. For Saturday, south at 10 for Bristol Bay and south to southwest at 15, Kodiak Island, Alaska Peninsula, south to southeast at 15 to 20. And for the eastern Aleutians tomorrow, north to northwest winds 15 to 20 knots, variable winds 20 to 25 here for the central Aleutians. And out to the west, we got gale warnings coming in from Kiska to Shemya for southwest to southeast winds, depending on which side of the front you're on, at 35 to 40 knots with seas at 11 to 17 feet. And then for Saturday, good gales here advancing eastward with west to southwest winds 35 to 40 knots here west of Adak, and west-southwest at 30 knots for Adak and Atka in toward Tukolski. And front Alaska Island, winds will be west-southwest at 25 knots. And for the southwest coast, northwest at 10 tomorrow, north at 10 for St. Lawrence Island, about 15 for Norton Sound and St. Matthew Island, northwest at 15 for the Pribilofs. And for Saturday, pretty light winds here over the northern Bering Sea, right up into Norton Sound, variable at 10 knots in all those areas. South at 20 here for the Kuskokwim Delta coast, south at 30 knots, 13-foot seas for the Pribilofs, 30-knot winds and 13-foot seas out of the east there for St. Matthew Island. And up to the north for the eastern Beaufort Sea coast, east winds tomorrow, pretty light, 5 to 10 knots. Same thing for the Chukchi Sea, except the direction, north to northwest, at 5 to 10 knots. And for Saturday, light variable winds here for all of the Arctic coast here, mostly east at 5 to 10 knots there for the east side.